Hi guys, this is Miss Luris. I hope you're all doing well during this distance learning thing that we're doing. If you guys have any questions at all or need any help in any of your classes, don't hesitate to reach out to me or to any other teacher. We're all here to help you during this time. I miss all of you. I wish we were back in the classroom, but unfortunately, that's not the case, and we're going to try to make the best of it and do kind of what we would do in the classroom anyway. So you guys just finished up the chapter on electricity and magnetism. We took our test on Friday. I hope you're all pleased with your grades. So we're going to be starting chapters 4 and 5 on forces. Now these chapters kind of deal with the same exact thing, so that's why I kind of smushed them into one chapter, into one kind of thing for us to do so we don't have to take two separate tests. I think this is definitely better anyway. So if you would please follow along with what we're going to be doing for the rest of these two chapters, I'm going to be giving you guys these short little bursts of the PowerPoint. I'm not going to drone on for like 20 minutes. These short little bursts of the PowerPoint. You do not have to take notes. Yay, clap. But I do want you to listen. I want you to watch the videos. I want you to read along with me. Okay? And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, you can post any questions underneath this video for class discussion. Okay? So we're going to start. You might also hear my cats meow in the background. I am sorry. Okay. So this is going to be our day 1 screencast. So what are forces? We've talked a little bit about forces, especially with magnetic forces, but a force is essentially just a push, pull, or any other action that affects motion. Motion is a big part of it, so force cannot happen if there is no motion happening. So you could maybe push on a wall as hard as you can, but if the wall's not moving, which unless you're the Incredible Hulk, it's not going to, that is technically not a force, even though you're using all of your strength and all of your energy. So here we see this guy, he's pushing a box. It seems like he's pushing it pretty hard, and the box is presumably moving to the right. And this guy is pulling on a rope, and you could see he's using a lot of force here, and he might be pulling something or maybe playing tug of war or something like that. So there is force happening here. Isaac Newton. So every year I talk about Isaac Newton, and people say, oh, he's the guy who got hit in the head with an apple and discovered gravity. Well, I'm not sure how accurate that is. However, he does have these 3 laws of motion that are super, super important for you guys to know. Luckily, they're pretty self-explanatory and logical, and you guys have all seen these happen in real life. So his first law is basically it basically says an object in motion will stay in motion and an object at rest will stay at rest. Now, I have these little stars, these little asterisks here, because there is a caveat or an exception to these rules. And the exception is down here, and it says unless an outside force is applied. So an object in motion is going to stay in motion unless an outside force is applied to make that object stop. And same is for an object at rest. An object at rest is going to stay at rest unless an outside force is applied to it to make it move. So an object in motion will stay in motion. You can kind of think of maybe a car. So I know most of you guys, hopefully all of you guys, haven't driven a car. But if you're in a car and you take your foot off the gas, the car does not stop immediately. It continues to roll, and it's in motion, and it's going to stay in motion. it does stop eventually because an outside force is applied. Either you're braking, on the brake pedal, or friction, gravity, air resistance is going to stop this car from moving. Now, an object at rest will stay at rest. That's super easy to observe. Obviously, the dresser in your room, the shoes on the floor, different objects that are staying still are going to stay that way, hopefully, unless you pick them up, unless you push them, unless, you drop something or anything like that. These objects are going to stay at rest unless you do something or unless an outward force does something to make it start moving. Now, there's a funny meme that shows a kid sleeping in bed, and it says, an object at rest will stay at rest. And then in the next pane, it says, unless an outside force is applied. And it shows a person dumping water on the kid. So I thought that was pretty funny, and it is kind of like Newton's first law. Now here's a video, not a video, the video is in the next slide, but here's a picture of Newton's first law of motion. Now I know a lot of you guys enjoy playing soccer, so you can kind of relate to this infographic here. So an object at rest is going to remain at rest. Here we have a soccer ball on the ground, and presumably it will stay there until your foot comes over and kicks it. Now, when your foot, your outside force, kicks this ball, it is not going to remain at rest because it's being kicked. A force is being applied to it. That ball is going to go flying, and it's going to continue to move, and it should continue to move until it is acted on by a force to stop it. And here we have the net. If you're good at playing soccer, you'll know that the ball does not continue to go through the net. If you get a goal, it stays in the net and the net stops it from moving. Now, if this net was not there, the ball in a perfect world would continue to move all the way, all the way, all the way until you could not see it anymore. But, we have air resistance and we have gravity, so that would not happen. However, it does happen in space, and we're going to maybe talk about that after the video. So I want you guys to watch this video right here. Hopefully this works. I have not used this yet. Let's see. Oops, wait, no. Okay, so there you saw basically what I've been saying this whole time. Now, let's say that there are no forces to stop something from moving. So let's say we have a ball and we throw it. This is impossible, but we throw it into space. We leave Earth's atmosphere and we throw it into space. Is there gravity in space? No, there is no gravity in space. Is there air resistance in space? No, because there is no air in space. There's no oxygen, there's no atmosphere. So theoretically, there is nothing to stop the ball from moving at the same exact speed and in the same exact direction. So let's say you threw a ball into space, it would keep going and going and going and going until something got in the way of it. Let's say we threw a ball toward Mars and it just kept going and going and going until it reached Mars and it was pulled into its gravity and hit the surface. So we can create that kind of environment on Earth. It's an unnatural environment for Earth, but we can create it, and we're going to talk about that in a few days when we talk about air resistance. So I hope this was good for you guys. Let me know. Give me feedback. I would love to hear from you. Things that went well here, things that didn't go so well. And I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, I hope everyone has a good day. Keep washing your hands, stay inside, social distancing, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.